Hello, English learners. Today we are going to talk about pronoun and antecedent agreement. This is Professor Mukhtar Abbasi, and you are watching my YouTube channel FEC English. Let's dive into the world of English and learn the rules of agreement of pronoun with its antecedent. The first rule is the pronoun agrees with the number of antecedent. Let me tell you from the very inception that when I talk about or when I say agreement of pronoun with antecedent, so what does that mean? That pronoun must agree, means pronoun must be same or must tally with the number, gender and case of a noun, which in grammar is called, or in the language of a sentence is called, antecedent. So the rule first says that the number of the pronoun must be same as the number of antecedent, means the noun for which a pronoun is used. If the noun is singular, the pronoun used in place of it must be singular. If the noun is plural, the pronoun used in place of noun must be plural. Let us understand this rule through the sentences. My sentence number 1 is Ishal played her video game. Here the noun is Ishal, and which is the antecedent of her. Ishal is singular, so that's why the pronoun I am using in place of Ishal is her. So here her tallies in number with Ishal. Second sentence, Inaya wanted the attention of the teacher and the principal, but they ignored her. In this sentence, the antecedents are two words, that is teacher and principal, means they are two in number. The pronoun which we are going to use in place of them must be in plural form. So that's why we have used they, because here they is used in place of principal and the teacher, which are two in number. So that's rule number 1, that pronoun must agree with its antecedent in number. Rule number 2 is that they is also used in the sense of singular pronoun. Normally everyone knows that the pronoun they is used for plural nouns, but in some cases we can also use the word they for the sense of or in the sense of singular person. Let us understand that thing through the example and when it happens. It happens when the gender of the noun is, or the gender of the antecedent is unknown, or the antecedent is non-binary, or the gender of the antecedent is unspecific. Let us understand that thing through the example. If any person, here person is singular in number and its plural is persons, so it is not persons, it is person. But here from the word it is not clear whether it is a male or female, so that is bit confusing for most of the new learners whether to use he or she. If you are using he, you are making a gender discrimination. If you are using she, that is also gender discrimination. So in UK that is not acceptable, and in grammar it is also not acceptable. So what to do in that situation? Then use the pronoun in place of the noun whose gender is not specified or clear, the word they. So here, if any person calls, tell them. It is not more than 2 persons are going to call me. Here I am talking about if he or she calls me. So in that case, I am replacing the person with them. So here the pronoun agrees with its antecedent, not in number but in gender. Then the rule number 3 is when the two nouns are joined by the word and, which is a conjunction, then the pronoun you are using in place of them must be in plural. How? Let us understand it through the examples. Afnan and Inaya, here these two words Afnan and Inaya, these two words are the antecedent of the pronoun there, and they are connected by the word and. So Afnan and Inaya are praised by their teacher. Means whose teacher? Afnan's and Inaya's. So two nouns joined by and, so in place of both of them we have to use the plural pronoun. That is the rule number 3. But be careful. Sometimes we have two nouns joined together by the conjunction and, but they refer to the same person instead of referring to two different persons. Let us understand that situation from the example. I have already written here in the note, and I'll also give that thing in the description. The treasurer and secretary presented his. For many new learners, it must be confusing that a treasurer, a noun, secretary, a noun connected by and the pronoun we are using his. There must have been there, but here treasurer and secretary are not two persons. The same person does the job of treasurer and also secretary. That's why here we are referring to the single person, and the concept is of single person. That's why we are using the pronoun his. So the treasurer and secretary presented his report. But, and second, let us first of all see another example, then I'll tell you something more. My friend and colleague. A person who is my friend is also my colleague, or the person who is my colleague is also my friend. So friend and colleague are not two different persons. The two words are referring to one person. So that's why I'm replacing the friend and colleague with her. So my friend and colleague has started her own business. But in some cases, we have to use the plural pronoun for them. And how we can distinguish this thing and how we can properly use it when the is used before both of the nouns. So let's rewrite this same sentence here. So the treasurer, please note the definite article the treasurer, and the secretary. So the before secretary, the before treasurer. So that makes them two different persons. So when two different persons, then what comes in our mind? That the pronoun must be plural in number. So the treasurer and the secretary presented their report. Here we are using his because we are referring to the same person. There we are referring to two different persons. So be careful of that thing. Here we don't have the, here we have the in this sentence. So mostly for example, I'm going to give you another example. I have a black and a white cow. So here a black, a white means two cows I have. But if I say I have a black and white cow, a black and white, only the article is used once. So that means the cow I have, it has patches of white color, patches of black color. So here I'm referring to one single cow. So I have a black and white cow, single cow. I have a black and a white cow, referring to two different cows, so two cows. So that happens mostly, and it's confusing for new learners. Rule number 3 is that when you are using each and every before a noun, so you have two nouns, and before both of the nouns you have each or every, and the two nouns are connected by the word and. So in that case you will have to use the singular pronoun. Let us understand this rule through the sentences. Every soldier, before the soldier you can see I have used the word every, and every seller, again the word every before the word seller. So the rule is same, every plus noun. So every soldier and every seller, we can't say were, was, and in not there but his place. So every soldier and every sailor was in his place, not their place. The rule says that if you have every before a noun and every before another noun, and both the nouns are connected by and, then the pronoun must be singular in number. Let us have a look at another example. Each goat and each sheep. Each used before goat, each used before sheep. Again, what is the rule? That we will have to use singular pronoun in place of both nouns. So each goat and each sheep is in its best health. It's not there, its best health. Then the rule number 4 is that if you have antecedents and they are joined by are or nar, the pronoun agrees with closer noun. So this is a bit confusing. I have to write in short because of the space. What does that mean? It means that in some cases we have two nouns, one is singular, one is plural, and they are connected by are or nar. That also confuses us that whether to use a plural pronoun or a singular pronoun. So what is the rule? The pronoun will be used which is closer to the pronoun, the noun that is closer to the pronoun. If the noun that is closer to the pronoun is singular, the pronoun will be singular. If the noun used closer to the pronoun is plural, so the pronoun will be plural. Let us understand this rule through examples. Neither the teacher nor the students shared their ideas. Teacher is singular. Students, the word students is plural. So which is closer to their? Students. That's why I used here their, because the closer antecedent to there is students and its number is plural, so I used the plural pronoun. But let us change the situation. Neither the students nor the teacher shared his ideas. Now I use the word his, pronoun his, here, there. Why? The antecedent that is closer to the pronoun is teacher, whose number is singular. That's why I used here singular pronoun. So that is the rule number 4. That the pronoun or the antecedent that is closer to the pronoun will tally in number with the pronoun. Then rule number 5 is that if you have indefinite pronouns, normally from the very beginning we have learned that pronoun is the word which is used in place of noun. but in some cases we can also use pronoun in place of pronoun. And what are those pronouns? They are indefinite pronouns. So indefinite pronouns mostly have a singular sense. In classical grammar or strict grammar, that if you have indefinite pronoun, so the pronoun that replaces it must be singular. But in modern English or informal English, and which is very common, the rule is that you have to use plural pronoun for them. Let us understand that thing while discussing the sentences. In formal, we say everyone. Everyone is indefinite pronoun, and everyone has a sense of singular pronoun. So everyone must bring his or her lunch. Sometime earlier, that was the situation. From the safe side, in order to avoid gender discrimination, his / her was used. And before that, only his was used, which is strictly prohibited in present day English. So either you can use his or her, but from the safe side, which is very common nowadays, if you see, listen to English speakers, that when this is the situation, when you have indefinite pronoun which may refer to male or female, so they prefer to use the plural pronoun. Like, everyone must bring their lunch. Here the word there does not show the number but the gender. There means male and female. It is exactly the same rule which we have discussed here, that they used in the singular sense when the gender is unknown or unspecific. So everyone must bring their lunch. So if you are using singular pronoun with indefinite pronouns, it is okay, not incorrect. But if you are using their, that is okay, and it is more common because informal language is the one that is mostly used in spoken form. People prefer to use that one. I hope you enjoyed this little effort on pronoun and antecedent agreement. That was part 1. There are still some rules remaining. I will be discussing in my part 2 of the pronoun and antecedent agreement. If you like this little effort, please like and subscribe my channel. Until my next video, bye bye.